This is all BJ today. She's the master of branding.
Okay, so that's totally not correct. The reason why I like what Rich does is his branding's amazing.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And I learned it all from you. So you are still the master of brand. But anyway,
Okay.
I'm Rich G.
I'm BJ Flagg, and this is episode 201, 4 Steps to Effectively Brand Your Business.
I
Yes,
know.
my favorite topic.
Branding, schmanding. Who needs it?
Oh, really? Do I even need this stuff? Can I just, get out there and sell my business with nothing?
No. If you want to waste money and time and lose a lot of potential customers, by all means,
Yeah, go
don't
right
brand. Don't
ahead.
brand. Yeah.
I know. We're hoping to bring out a lot of tips and ideas to kind of get you going. This can be for branding and rebranding. It can be for both. So,
Absolutely.
listen up and see if there's a little nugget in there that could help you kind of do a little bit of rebranding yourself.
Excellent. Well, our tip number one is you are the product. The brand needs to reflect you. Okay. So you need to be you.
Yes. And, most people don't understand that the client looks to you for their product or their service. They are going to be attracted to you for one reason or another. When you can't be standing in front of them, something needs to be standing in for you.
Yeah. And this is one of the hardest things to do because I've been there. But if you do this first, everything else will fall into place.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely. And I think, when the next tip, you create the culture that you want to work in. I think a lot of people, when they get out of corporate, they might have worked for other people in a company or something like that. They're stymied, right?
Yep.
And they don't realize when we talk about branding, we're not just talking about a logo mark that you're going to put on a business card. We're
Yeah.
we're talking about your essence. This is a philosophical thing. What are you in business? Why are you in business? And then what do you have to offer the market?
Yeah, it's so important. Again, it's not like slap it together. So when you're formulating your brand, the actual corporate or universal culture will come up. You
Yeah.
need to decide how you're going to work, where you're going to work, how you convey that to your employees and customers.
It reminds me of Rich and I were talking about Disney and the amount of time and effort that went into creating that initial brand.
Yep.
And it was successful because after X amount of years, it has been able to evolve and change and morph and go and, all that type of stuff. Amazing brand. And it
Yeah.
is super strong in the corporate culture.
Hmm.
But, again, remember your tip number one, you be you.
Yeah.
Make that environment somewhere where you want to work in daily. Don't create an environment that, you just left.
Yeah, but your environment. Yeah, it's so important. It's again, create the culture you want to work in. So
Yeah.
tip 3, work with a professional to help you create a cohesive brand. And I'm not just saying it's because BJ's on the podcast,
No.
but you could do it alone. And I've seen so many
Oh,
clients and people do it. We've run into people in networking groups, but they tend to only be looking at it from one dimension, their perspective.
yeah.
Uh,
And
you,
really, I think hiring a qualified people to work to help you. So it's collaborative, to help you develop and launch your brand is the best way to go. And
yeah,
what you'll realize in such a short period of time is that expertise brings out of you. Rich, you were talking about that, bringing out
yeah.
the incredibleness of you. You do need a person to help you with that.
Yeah, it's so important. They bring insights and ideas you've never imagined.
Oh, yeah.
They'll hit you from out of left field. Like, have you ever thought of doing this? Because getting back to, we've seen many businesses who have gone it alone, and it's a disaster. That you look at their website or their business card or how they present their brand, and you could smell their amateur solutions a mile away. Uh,
And
like,
yeah,
oh, I just grabbed a template from Vistaprint, and I go, yeah, I could see that.
you
It's
didn't have to tell
awful.
me. You did
Yeah,
not have to tell me. Oh, Canva, very nice,
yeah,
very nice. What you missed was that whole ideation process
yeah,
to get you to that point. You know, here we are talking about a logo mark. If you think your brand is your logo mark, you're way off base. You're way off base. It's just you need to create the essence and aura of who you are. And there's so much more that just goes into it. You know, it's not just a reflection. You know, it needs to be a reflection of your professionalism. Um, but you need to hit the mark correctly the first time.
yeah. Don't try to be creative without help at the end
Y-
of the day. So,
That's
what's
right.
tip four?
Embrace the fact that you will evolve. Rich is the master of evolution. Let me tell you. Oh my gosh. You guys, when we worked on his original website, um, he was intent on making sure that he was going to be able to change things. And I really didn't understand at the time, like, wow, he seems so focused on changing it and just made it. He wanted that ability to have the website change with him. And oh my gosh, every time you go, it's like, oh wow, look what you did. Oh, I love that.
Mhm.
And that makes you feel so good, to know that you're in sync, which is
Yeah.
really good. That's my commercial today. But um I love it.
Yeah, if you've done your brand correctly, you'll be able to seamlessly evolve. Small micro steps that will stay in pace with your journey as a company.
Yeah. It reminds me of a story. I had met a owner of a men's casual belt company, and they were in business about 6 years, and they sold to like regional stores, things like that, hoping for that big break. And they fine tuned the brand continually until they were found by a large company who wanted to license their brand.
Yeah.
um, Huge opportunity. And you know what? All that hard work for 6 years got them to that point. And it was so refreshing. I saw him yesterday and he said, oh yeah, we're we're working with the brand and how we're doing it so that we can attract more. We have to attract investors
Yeah.
now. And then we want to attract larger brands. So we're kind of excited to start the next phase. And I'm thinking, oh, there's the energy. There it is. Just makes you feel so good to know that the original brand was strong enough to accommodate his dream.
And
So super good.
it sounds great. And don't be afraid to make these small changes and don't put it off because when your brand doesn't feel in sync with your offerings and services, the trust relationship starts on a shaky ground. How many times have we seen businesses where they've kept the same logo and the same look and the same everything? And you walk into their store, you talk to them, and you're like, this isn't what I'm seeing advertised.
Right, right. Just being in sync is such a big deal. We have a great resource for you today.
Yeah, it's a book called Brand Intervention 33 Steps to Transform the Brand You Have into the Brand You Need. It's by David Breyer, and he's of the Breyer ice cream family.
Yeah.
So he's a Rocky Road was his contribution to that family. But anyhow, it's the first book written for CEOs, entrepreneurs, brands, and startups that don't have time to read a book on branding. So
This is
this is
why
a
we
great
picked it out
book.
for you. But you and your brand are, they talk really the same way that we do. Your brand are a revolution waiting to happen. And this book, which is really exciting, kind of gives you all the tools to get your brand seen, heard, and ready to change the world the way you want to do it. So,
I
I,
love on the back of the book, they say, Sick and tired of 300-page business and marketing books with 8 pages of useful content and 290 pages of regurgitation? I started laughing when I read that. I was
It's like
blown
I'm
away.
totally
I go,
reading it.
yes, absolutely. I'm sick of those things. So
I thought it was good, and I think you'll love it. It's a great book, and it's something where 33 items you can pick a couple that are just sing to you. So awesome book, and that's it. Our sponsor today is Rich G from the Rich G Group. If your family business is hitting a few potholes in the road, some things are working and then there's a whole lot of drama. You want to focus on clients, but you spend a lot of time arguing with family members. You need to set up a chat with Rich G. One free session will show you that Rich is the real deal. He helps hundreds of companies grow and excel faster than you would expect. Go to richg.com for a free session with Rich and see how he can help your family business soar.
excellent. Thank you, BJ. And
Sure.
our other sponsor today is BJ Flag. If you need someone to look at your brand and give it a refresh, you need to call newrenew.com. They have the outside the bubble perspective to understand what you want and what your customers are looking for. So if you want qualified professionals to brand or rebrand your business, reach out to BJ today. That's newrenew.com. Thank you to our producer, editor, and king of creative, Richard Scalzo, the man who makes everything happen with our podcast, bringing you the best small business podcast every Tuesday. We've never missed a week. Have an unbelievable Tuesday.
And catch you later.